Cyrus Jirongo, once described as one of Kenya's most powerful political fixers and wealthiest businessmen. At the height of his influence, his empire stretched across prime Nairobi land, massive housing estates, farms, and billion-shilling corporate assets. But behind the wealth lay controversy, debt, court battles, and bankruptcy. Today, we take a deep look at the top 10 most expensive properties and assets ever linked to Cyrus Jirongo. Jirongo controlled several companies, including Sololo Outlets Limited, offshore trading company, and Kuza Farms and Allied. At their peak, these companies controlled land, housing projects, and agricultural assets worth hundreds of millions of shillings, before debts and receivership wiped out much of their value. Through his companies, Jirongo developed and owned hundreds of residential units across Nairobi. Although many homes were later sold to private buyers, the combined value of these developments once ran into the billions of shillings. This 103-acre farm in Uasin Gishu County was owned through Kuza Farms. It included agricultural facilities and fertile land before being auctioned to recover debt, fetching over 50 million shillings. Located near Nairobi's industrial zone, this 2.5-acre parcel was once used as loan collateral. Due to its strategic location, it was valued at hundreds of millions of shillings and later became part of a settlement with Nairobi County. Situated along Bagathi Road, this residential development formed part of Jirongo's Nairobi property portfolio. Properties in this area command high market prices, placing its value in the hundreds of millions. Saika Estate was another large residential project developed under Sololo Outlets Limited. Though exact figures were never made public, estimates place the value in the multi-billion-shilling range at its peak. In the early 1990s, Jirongo used vast land titles as collateral to secure massive state bank loans. These titles, spread across Nairobi and surrounding areas, represented assets worth billions, later caught in legal disputes. Beyond land, Kuza Farms included processing plants, equipment, and commercial agricultural operations. At its height, the company was considered a major agribusiness player, with assets valued in the billions. Hazina Estate is one of Jirongo's most famous developments. Built on approximately 23 acres, the estate hosts thousands of housing units. When fully valued as a project, Hazina Estate was estimated to be worth tens of billions of shillings, making it one of Nairobi's largest private housing developments. At the center of Jirongo's empire lies the controversial Ruai land, reported to be between 1,000 and 1,600 acres. Once valued at over 13 billion shillings, this land was used to secure enormous loans and later became the subject of intense court battles, public scrutiny, and ownership disputes. This single property remains the most expensive asset ever linked to Cyrus Jirongo. Cyrus Jirongo, once described as one of Kenya's most powerful political fixers and wealthiest businessmen. At the height of his influence, his empire stretched across prime Nairobi land, massive housing estates, farms, and billion-shilling corporate assets. But behind the wealth lay controversy, debt, court battles, and bankruptcy. Today, we take a deep look at the top 10 most expensive properties and assets ever linked to Cyrus Jirongo.